Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Orisu, and I'm going to be covering something that is not usual on my channel. If you own yourself a GT86, any model, any year, and you wanted to put roof racks onto it, you might notice that there's not really many people that cover it. There is barely, if not any, roof load ratings for this car. So you need to be incredibly careful what you chuck on the top of it, okay? It is not an SUV, it is a slow sports car. As you can see in the background behind me, I've actually already got a roof box. The roof box is light as hell, okay? So remember that, keep that in your head, that this is only a 320 litre roof box. Light and small, okay? Now, the roof rack system that I actually got on here is a Rhino rack sports bar RX 300 setup, factory point setup. Now, what the hell does any of that mean? So I'm going to show you. I'm going to bring you guys with me and show you what I'm talking about, okay? So this is the roof rack itself. I'm sorry, but the lighting's probably not the best. I don't really feel like opening up my garage, okay? This is the Rhino sports bar. Now the sports bar itself has an exposed track in the middle, so I can dip my finger into it. So for SUV lovers, obviously you want to get an awning and stuff like that. You can utilize this track with something called a track bolt or a T-bolt. It's a T-bolt. This end cap comes right off, and then any of your track bolts can slot right in, and then whatever attachment you're putting on there, you tie it down. So you have an exposed track, and you've got these rubbers on the top here that cut through the wind. So it is quiet and good. End cap comes on and off, and there is a plastic strip underneath that is keeping wind from flowing into, so to lessen the wind noise. And there's also a plastic strip that is movable inside, pre-built into the system, that closes towards the leg, keeping wind noise at a minimum. Okay, now this is what we call a RCH or a RX 300 leg from Rhino. It is a low locking leg. It has a little cover here on the front, and you get a little small blue Rhino key that opens the hatch up, giving you access to the bolt. Okay, so that is the Rhino setup. This setup is not for this car, okay? I want to make this very clear. The reason why I've got it on this car, okay, is because I wanted a lower set, okay? I wanted it to be as low as possible without losing too much room to mount something like a roof box, okay? Because anything else that's going to be mounted here on the side is going to be still lightweight and small. Like another box or a cargo case, that's fine. Now, this leg was completely adapted to the car itself. Rhino has one fit for the 86. That is an RLK VA leg. Everything will be on the side of the screen somewhere around here, showing you the legs, showing you what actually fits. Rhino has a fit for this. Now, those legs are ugly, and this is why I did a custom job myself, me and my boss at work, to use these legs specifically. This is purely a custom job, and unfortunately, we do not do it at our company. If requested enough, we might be able to do it now that we've got the experience on how to do it, but the measurements will be different each time. Okay, so just keep that into consideration. Now, the company that I work for, we install roof racks for all cars. 86s is definitely not one of them, okay? Not many people are putting roof racks on 86s. It is a sports car at the end of the day. Now, that's the racks covered. Now, the roof box itself. The roof box is a 320 litre roof box from Cruz. Cruz is a Spanish company. Now, the company Cruz is a good company. It's nice. They got good quality stuff, a very European style type stuff. But it's fantastic. It does the job. Here's my little car. It uses this lock barrel here. Twist to unlock. And then on the front of the actual roof box, there's a latch here. And then from there, I can raise it up and open it up. Now here I've got my gear in here already. So then I can just mount a light to it right up there. And then I can see all my gear. I'm not going to explain what gear I've got, but this is the roof box. This is something that you can expect to carry, and there's still room for other things. I put my lunchbox right here, and that's it. Okay, I carry essential stuff for the car, you know, jumper cables, tire pump and whatnot, and any little bits and bobbles and tools inside there. First aid kit, my essentials, jumper, my backpack for travel, and more essential tools here, as well as a light, and then my lunchbox will go in there. Okay, that's all I keep in there. I try to keep it low in terms of weight because it's not necessary for me to carry a ton of stuff. This isn't an SUV. Now, the way this roof box works is a U-bolt system, okay? And if I just go lower here, you can see right here, this silver bolt is wrapping around the actual roof rack itself. Okay, so that's the U-bolt system. It goes through the system and ties down like so. See if I can get a good view with the camera. There are these knobs here, right? And there is a plate. This plate sits on the top here. And then you obviously put the bolt through and then you tie it down. Very simple. Now, I was very lucky to get this system to work. The reason why is I winged it. I literally winged the dimension of the rack itself. Because these holes that are on the roof box come on the roof box, right? So, the measurement, I did not know this because I didn't know at this time, okay? I didn't have any plans to put the roof box on the car to begin with. Didn't know I was going to get a roof box to begin with. But the distance between this rack and this rack was completely random. And then when I was like, oh, why not? I'll get a roof box. And then I lined it up. They so happened to be just in line. It's a bit of tightening issue, but I got it, okay? So this is incredibly important, the distance between both roof racks. The reason why it's incredibly important is because you don't want the roof rack itself to slope in any way. You want it to be straight for carrying gear. And the current measurements that I got on here are perfect and they're keeping it straight. The measurements will be on the screen. Sorry, I just don't have a measuring tape in this damn garage. But that keeps it straight and their distance as well. So I'll put from center to center, the measurement from center to center. And this is how we measure it. We put the measuring tape in the actual track and then we go to the next part of the track, if not the end of the track. You've got the holes like so, and we measure it from the end of this hole and this hole. So you choose, you kind of choose. Sometimes we would measure from the end of this leg here, the beginning of this leg, just to the other leg or to the center of where the bolt is. All right, so there are different ways of measuring it, but I'll set it all up there on the screen. All right, and it just so happened to match up with the holes that are on the roof box. So I was really, really lucky. Okay, now, like I said, it's purely custom and we don't do it at our company too often. The other roof rack setups that I've seen out there in the world utilize something we call a clamp system. The clamp system is not exactly the best system for your car, especially 86s, because 86s are entirely frameless. And what I mean by that is they are entirely frameless. So when you open up the door, there is no frame on that door. It's purely glass. Now the clamp systems that other roof rack companies use actually hold on to here, just underneath and in between the rubber. So the seal itself, it sits and holds onto here and pulls up on the metal here. That metal is not really metal, it's plastic. Okay, it is purely plastic. Although it's tough on there, it's purely plastic. There is some other roof racks that hold differently and they go in and further in, touching the metal. But the second you close the door, your window is going to get messed up. Okay, the motor that's actually powering your window to have it adjust each time you open it. Every time you open the car, the window adjusts down. There's going to be a clamp literally sitting there. And I don't like that system, don't trust that system. I highly do not recommend that sort of system, okay? Now, roof load ratings. There is no real listed roof load rating for this car because people who made this car, Toyota and Subaru, never expected people to put shit on top of it. So please take that in consideration. Now, I have a maximum, roughly 12 to 13 kilos on the roof. That's the roof box and my gear. I can potentially get away with either the gazebo on one side, a cargo case on the other, or a simple tent on the opposite side. That's it. And I mean a simple ground tent. Okay, so there's my gazebo and our ground tent. One or the other can go on the top, and that's it. That is its maximum. And where I would be strapping it on is where the legs and the factory points are. So that's the best that you can do while staying safe, because this isn't an SUV. That's a lot to consider. Okay, now factory points. There is something called factory points in the roof racking world, and the factory points, there is none here. You have to customly factory point it. Alright, so it's a custom factory point mount job. So, like I said, measurement is everything. So what do you do? How do you get this? How do you do it? So literally, you just peel off the rubber. The rubber is actually holding on to one clip inside the actual ditch here, one clip there, and one clip here at the front. You need to be very gentle with this shit, because even though you can pop it out, you just want to be careful with it. Once you remove the entire seal, you'll require a small bracket. This bracket is, description would be, or everything will show up there on the screen. This bracket fits into the ditch, and then you will need to mark it out, measure it out, mark it, and then drill holes into your system. Okay, you'll be drilling holes into your car. When you drill the holes into your car, right, you will need to clean it up, galvanize it, add some gal paint so that the rust doesn't spread, or if it causes any rust whatsoever, it doesn't spread and whatnot. And then once that happens, you will be riveting in the brackets. After that, the bracket itself is a special bracket that comes with a screw hole on it, okay? And then when you place the roof rack on top of that bracket, literally you put the bolt through and tighten it as hard as you can. There is your custom factory point mount. It is not as simple as said. It is a lot harder. Easier said than done. Okay, it's a lot harder than what it is. So yeah, please forgive me. All the stuff you see out there when it comes to clamp mount, don't do it. If you care about your windows and you care about the car, don't do it. All right, try to go for a factory point. Now I know Tula apparently do a fit for this. Rhino does a fit for this as well. But finding the parts themselves, because it's not on demand, is definitely difficult. So remember that. Please remember that. If you cherish these cars like I do, I adore the 86 family. But any sort of modifications and whatnot, I take high consideration before I do it. I research it, and the thing is that there's barely any research out there, and a lot of people don't want to do extensive reading. Sorry. They sometimes have or want someone to kind of explain it, that it is possible. So there's some information that you do gather out of this. Keep it light, custom factory point mount, avoid clamp mount, and keep it light, for fuck's sake. Keep it very light, because you just don't want to ruin your car. You want to be very careful when installing roof racks. Once you drill the holes are there. There's no going back. There's any leaking issues? No. So do everything right, set up everything right, no leaks, don't carry a massive amount of gear, keep it light, do your research. Hopefully this video can give you that piece of information. Find an aerodynamic light system as well. Rhino sports bars are great, Yakima aero bars are great as well. The Tula bars are a bit heavier, but they're still really good, and they won't add too much weight for you to worry about. And in terms of roof boxes, Tula is good as well. Tula have very aerodynamic sort of roof boxes, and they do sell a variety of different sizes. Cruz, I went with Cruz because I'm on a budget, but Cruz boxes are also really good. They can set you back from $500 to beyond. Alright, so if you want to make a decision to get roof racks on your 86, do it at your own risk. Be very understanding of what you're actually doing and what you're carrying, and you shouldn't have a single problem whatsoever. Anyway, I'm going to get back to work on my car because I've got some things to do. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Sorry it's different from the usual stuff that I normally upload, Obvs and Orisu and all that sort of stuff. But, I thought maybe this video would be helpful to anyone out there. Anyway, take care. Love you all. I'm gonna now have a smoke. Stop fucking following me, you cunt.